What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. Here with my guy, man, Kenny Stubblefield in the building. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. We are live,
Beautiful.
man, at 12 noon.
Beautiful.
I don't get many chances to do this. Kenny, my 45th birthday is coming up Sunday. I told
Happy
my
birthday.
job,
Happy birthday, man.
I need the rest of this week and all of next week off. I've been off since yesterday was my first day off. I still let my emails run. I ain't even giving it out of office. I'm just letting them just run. Just talk to the air. Keep thinking
Just talk to the air.
Keep thinking you're talking to me, man. I don't want you to know that. You know what I mean? Just keep talking to the air, man. So yeah, I am on vacation for the next until November the 11th when I come back to work, man. So if you down, we might do this again. We'll see how this goes.
Do
we
it.
might do this again live next Wednesday and Friday as well. We'll see.
Man, it was Halloween night last night, so we had Halloween stuff to go do, man. And we were like, you know what, man? Let's just do this thing live. Let's have a good time.
Why not, bro? Yeah, why not, bro? Like we had stuff going on last night, like you said. He was like, man, why not just do it? I'm off work. Why not just do it live? It was cool. Halloween was dope out here in the Midtown area. I hear people talk about how, Halloween trick-or-treating door-to-door just don't exist no more. It do in Midtown.
Excuse me? I disagree. 38017 is popping too, man. Like, let's not get it twisted.
Was jumping last night. Peabody Avenue trick-or-treating is off the damn chain because it's a semi-busy street. You know what I mean? And it's like people have like really going all out with the decorations, man. I just get joy still from Halloween, seeing little kids get candy and it's dope. It's dope. And my I got family around the corner, and they do this big thing every year, passing out candy, and it's just dope, man. Like in neighborhoods like Cooper Young, Midtown, these areas where you said the Curry building still doing their thing. Areas where they still do it, and the neighbors really make it a big deal, decorating and all those type of things.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I saw. I didn't put it on. Go ahead. I didn't put it on Twitter last night, but it was a family that had like a graveyard that had Donald Trump and whoever his running mate was last time. They were like this two-headed monster in an orange jumpsuit. It was a weird like little statue they had made, and they had the Statue of Liberty in a sleeper hold, like in a chokehold.
Oh my God!
And the graveyard had like liberty, equality, freedom to do what you want to do with your body, and all that type of stuff was the stuff that died in this Trump graveyard. So,
well,
it was pretty scary, bro.
That's the difference. That's a major difference because in the 38017 out here in Carryville,
oh hell yeah, it was a little different. You probably had some cotton fields.
there was some. We saw a bunch of kids walking around in Trump costumes. They had walking around. Apparently, there's this new. My daughter was telling me about it. There's this Trump Macarena song that. Oh my God. And so, blasting speakers up and down the street with the Trump. I'm like, it's different, man. Yeah. It's different.
That's that ends the political segment of the show.
That's it. That's all we got.
All we got. Welcome to the Edge of the Sain Show once again. We're doing this live on a Sunday afternoon. Feeling good, man. Feeling good. We made it, Kenny Stubblefield. We made it past the damn 6 games in 9 nights, which is what we've heard being plastered in our faces, man. Blasted in our ears, forced into our hearts. The 6 games in 9 nights is over. And are we better off for it?
No, we're not. We're not. And let me tell you, I was thinking this last night. I was like, can we put in a petition to the NBA that the Memphis Grizzlies fan base is not prepared and ready for 6 games in 9 nights? Man, we almost
seems like we're getting done wrong. We ain't down. Yeah. We don't do it.
We almost imploded on ourselves this week, man. Like we just had a really rough season last year with all the injuries and all the losing and all that kind of stuff. We're not prepared for the 6 games in 9 nights, man. Like, let's not do that again. We need a chance to recover.
Good game. The Grizzlies blew out the former NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks.
It wasn't even as close as the final score. They won by 23. It wasn't even as close as that. It was an ugly game.
Good game by the Grizzlies with Marcus Smart and Desmond Bane out. Of course, Santi Aldama and Jalen Wells got to start. Jalen Wells, he's another iOS operating system type player too. It seems like he constantly learns and gets better after he makes his mistakes. I'm gonna read a quote from DeMichael Cole that came from Coach Taylor Jenkins last night after the game. Taylor Jenkins said the Grizzlies have been building up Ja Morant for the type of rotations he had today. He said the team wanted to give Morant longer stints today. Morant was plus 29 in 29 minutes of play. This is the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. His minutes were basically the same.
They're the same. They're the same.
He didn't play more minutes than he played in the other game. And shout out to Gary Parrish, who just debunked all this stuff people have been saying. There's just been Grizzlies basketball jargon we've been repeating for the last few months, last few years, actually. Shout out to Gary Parrish. Go check out his show yesterday to see what I'm referring to. But he was talking about basically like, don't tell me these guys can't. If a guy can play 29 minutes, he can play 34 minutes. If he can play 28, he can play 33. Don't tell me these guys can't play more minutes without risk of injury. Like this, and if they can't, please explain what that means. Shout out to Gary Parrish, one of his best segments ever to me. But Ja Morant played 29 minutes yesterday, the same he's been playing pretty much this entire season. But I asked you, Kenny Stubblefield, what was different? It's in the tweet as well. What was different about Ja Morant's 29 minutes yesterday as opposed to the previous games? This is also something we talked about in our last show.
What was different? I think I honestly think in a lot of ways he played with more intentionality, number one. Number two, the biggest thing is the ball was in his hands.
Right.
The ball was in his hands, and they let Ja Morant cook. That's
right. He wasn't one of the 4 out in the 4 out offense, and the 5 out and the 5 out, and the screener and the cutter. You know, he was Ja Morant with the damn ball in his hand doing Ja Morant shit.
Right.
And he kept him out there in longer stretches, like it said in the tweet. Like Ja was actually, they didn't take him out when it was time for Ja to come out. They took him out when he was done cooking. Like they let him build the lead. You know what I mean? They let him play longer stretches before pulling him. Yeah. And they brought him back in when stuff started getting sketchy, you know what I mean, in that third quarter, fourth quarter, whatever quarter it was. And that's all that we've been asking for. We said the other day that the Golden State Warriors would go hard in the third so they could go sit down in the fourth. And that's what Ja was kind of able to do yesterday. And that's why he only played 20. He played the same 29 minutes. Like people have been saying, it's not the fact that they're not playing enough minutes. It's the fact that you're taking them out when you don't need them to. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, bro? And it's like, and it's so simple. Like I've said before, I don't think that Taylor Jenkins is a bad coach. I get my jokes off. I don't think he's a bad coach. They're just little nuances of the game. It's just little nuances of the game that he just doesn't get. And I don't think he'll ever get it. It shouldn't take game 6 to realize maybe I should play these dudes a little longer. And if you want evidence that the whole play less minutes, less risk of injury thing is a farce, is a bunch of bullshit, Marcus Smart and Desmond Bain still got hurt, and those guys hadn't been playing heavy minutes at all. It happens, bro. You can't.
Injuries are part of the game.
Injuries are part of basketball, bro. You can't. Science can't beat injuries. It happens. You can play 48 minutes and not get hurt. Or you can go out there and play 2 minutes and you're out for the season. It can happen, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Hey, we got the comment section is open, so if people want to throw comments in here. Mike said, I'm starting to think it's about that money, bro. They don't play average minutes. Grizzlies ain't going to pay star salaries. They're paying them.
They're going to pay. They're getting max salaries regardless.
They're max.
Which also is why it's so crazy. Like that they're not playing these dudes.
These guys aren't playing for they're not playing for contracts. Yeah. They're maxed. They're there.
And another thing with that, shout out to Doc Holliday too. He hit the nail on the head yesterday in one of his videos. He put out a few videos yesterday about this type of stuff. But these guys are human, man. Ja Morant sat down for what felt like 2 years without playing basketball. And he was out of sight, out of mind. And there are people, oh, this is so-and-so's league, or this is the most exciting player in the league, and these are the best players, under 25 or under 26 or whatever. And all these things about Ja, things are supposed to have Ja in them, have not had Ja in them.
Right.
This is Ja's year to come back and say, man, I'm still that dude. I can give you a 30-point triple-double in 30 minutes, and I can still do these type of things.
Well, he showed it last night. Yeah.
But not when you're not allowing him to do his thing, and not when you're kind of making him one of the options in a 5-man offense and all the 5-out offense or a 4-out, whatever you're doing. And like I said, I love this year. I love the new offense. I really love this year's new offense. It's got the shots that Marcus Smart is getting that are wide open, and Jake LaRavia that are getting that are wide open that he can't, finish. And even to some extent, Asante Aldama is getting that he's not making. That's gonna be Luke Kennard. That's gonna be Vince Williams. That's gonna be Gigi Jackson real soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's gonna be all those guys on the court at one time. You got to pick your poison. I think that I like this offense. And when you're giving the ball to guys, who are cutting or whatever, Vince is good at that. Gigi's a guy who's gonna be able to score with that type of stuff easy. And I think that when you get your full host of guys, this offense is really gonna look good. Jaren looks really freaking good in his offense.
Jaren, we were texting about this last night. Jaren he's doing things out there on the court that we've been wanting him to do, but his body just looks like it's ready for it. Like he looks like, even going up against Giannis yesterday, he looks bigger than Giannis. Like he looks like a grown man now.
Jaren got his grown man body. And shout out to Daniel Greer, who posted the rookie pics of Giannis and Jaren of how they look like. Those two dudes look like monsters now. But yeah, man, what I was saying is that the offense works. I think the offense is fine. I think it's a big leap from what we were, in years past. But with that being said, we've always we looked good when Ja was doing Ja stuff like he did yesterday, when we didn't really have an offensive set, right? But it was just that when Ja wasn't doing that, the offense looked terrible. When Ja went on the court, the offense looked terrible. But now with this new offense, it gives more options, especially if Ja's not on the court. Right. But I think that has to be the secondary. I think that Ja doing dope shit should be the first option. And there's nothing dope for Ja to do. Then you go into the offensive sets, because it made us look really, really good yesterday. And that Milwaukee team is ass, by the way. Like, let me make sure I get that out there, man. That Milwaukee team is ass cheeks. But like I said, the Grizzlies did get a big win on yesterday. Ja had a crazy game. Santi Aldama, the yo-yo strings, according to the yo-yo strings, the next game he's going to be bad. He had a good game last night. Yeah, so according to the up and downness of Santi Aldama, be prepared for a bad game. Jay Huff is continuing to, kind of mellow out to be what he's going to be. I think he's a guy who can be a very solid rotation player on this team. I don't know if he got his contract since the last time we talked. I don't know. Might have, but
I think he did. Yeah, I think we have not had an episode since he got his contract.
Yeah. So shout out to Jay Huff. Didn't expect that move to happen that soon. But shout out to him for getting it. He's proven that he's going to be a rotation player in this league. Zach Edey is continuing to get better. And look what happens when you let Ja and Zach Edey run a two-man game. He looks like a really good NBA starting center, right? It's just crazy, bro. It's just like the things that we've had to almost beg for. With Coach Taylor Jenkins, we're seeing those things. But it shouldn't. Like, I was listening to Rob Fisher on Jason and John show, and I'll be on Jason and John show today at 1:30. After this show is over, I'll be shooting over to do that show at 1:30 to talk with them. But Rob was like, man, who's ever seen a team that's had two bounce back games in the first 6 games of the season? 2 must-need victories.
2 almost must-win games, right?
Bro, because we've just been shooting ourselves. And I can definitely see us being 6-0. Like this whole 6 game and 9 nights thing, right? Like, we very well should be undefeated in these first 6 games, bro. And it's like the whole 6 games and 9 nights thing. Okay, cool. It's like, bro, we play one more game than the rest of the league, bro. Like, everybody's played at least 4 or 5 games. Most of the teams have played 5. We played one more than them. And it's like, what do we have to show for it? We played this super conservative, super weird with the minutes, and all we did is still have 2 of our top 5 guys get injured, and we're 3-3 when we very well are supposed to be 6-0 right now in the season. And I think as fans, the frustration level is so high strictly because of last year, because we had to endure and we stuck with this thing. Daniel Greer is still doing post-game shows for 70-something games last year for a team that was horrible. Like, we stuck through this as fans, And this year, we got our guys back. It's like we're looking at Ja, we're looking at Jaren.
Right.
We were looking at Dez. He'll be back. His injury's, pretty minor. He'll be back very soon. And we're looking at those guys, and we're not getting to be able to see them do what we wanted. We've anticipated them to do for an entire year.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't have Vince and Gigi in. You know what I mean? But I feel good because this team looks really good. And I think that the fact that we came out there, no Vince, no Gigi, no Luke Kennard, no Marcus Smart, no Desmond Bane, just Jaren Jackson Jr., John Morant, and some dudes, basically. And all for all intents and purposes, some dudes. And they bust the hell out of Milwaukee. Like, they beat their ass last night from beginning to end. A team that's got a league MVP on their roster who's very much still in his prime, and one of the top 75 players of all time in Damian Lillard. Well, and that within itself is crazy. That team should not have traded Drew Holiday. And this is what I warn Grizzlies fans on a lot, because we talk about a lot. Okay, let's just go get this trade to go. We need this guy. We need that guy. That Milwaukee thing is over.
It's over.
And we didn't know it was over. It was over a long time. It was over when they got rid of Drew Holiday and they traded him for Damian Lillard.
It was over when they got rid. I mean, and then the nail in the coffin was when they fired Adrian Griffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like fired him, second best record in the entire league, and they fire him because he can't take them over the hump, right? And crazy.
And that team, like I said, they traded a lot of assets to get Drew Holiday. Then you trade him plus assets again to go get Damian Lillard. You don't have any youth infusion on that team at all. Chris Middleton's out. He's gonna be out. He's out all the time.
Do you hear what Brevin said last night on the show, on the broadcast?
What Brevin said?
He said, because they showed a picture of Chris, and they were like, he's out, Chris is out. Chris might as well be an assistant coach at this point. I was like, damn. It's like, damn, brother.
Yeah, but for real, that Milwaukee team is over. And like, I feel like, of course, there's bias in this because I watch the Grizzlies more than anybody.
Right.
And I'm a Grizzlies fan, of course, but we are one of the better teams in the NBA. And once we get our full complement of guys, or get it closer around the full complement of guys, you're gonna really see what this team can be. And I like what I see now, and I think I like it better because we're looking at a team now where Jake LaRavia is averaging 20-something minutes a game. Jalen Wells, a guy who was like, man, I hope that guy can find a way to get on the court this year. He's one
starting.
of our leading minutes.
He
started last night, you know what I mean? Because of the injuries, but we're still a very good team, just with John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. and just some role players. And Santi Aldama, he's been up and down, but he's making games this year. But man, like I said, once we get all the bullshit out of here, I think it's gonna be a very good team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we in the offseason, when we talked about the roster and the rotations that we thought would happen for the Grizzlies, we were I think most people at BCM were pretty stunned that Jalen Wells was available when he was available in the second round. But it was like, and that's great, but we're not even going to need him. Like, we got Jalen Wells will be probably one of the worst players on this, on this team, on this roster
in a minute.
And he's still a serviceable player. He's had to play minutes that I don't think anybody thought he would have to play in the first first 6 games of the season.
Way more important role than we thought he'd have.
I just think I think in terms of like where we're at as a fan base, and even there's a frustration because you see very fixable things that could have won them the games that they've ended up losing, but then also with the realization that, man, when Gigi comes back, when Vince comes back, when they get Luke Kennard back, when they get top to bottom in terms of a 9-man rotation,
be a better player too. Edie is going to have a better grasp and feel for the league too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about Zach Edey. Me and you have been high on Zach this entire off season, all that kind of stuff. If you had to give him an overall grade in the first 6 games of his career as a Memphis Grizzly, what would it be? And what are you encouraged by? And what do you think needs work?
Probably average, C plus, some type of C. I'm still extremely high on Zach Edey. Don't get it twisted. Everything that I said about Zach Edey, I still see those things happening. I kind of thought I would get a little bit more emphasis from the team as far as trying to get him going. Yeah, that really hadn't happened. Last night was really promising though, just to see him and John a lot more 2-man action. I think Jock has to kind of spoon feed him to get him going. What do I like about him? He's in a lot better condition than even I thought he would come into the season as.
Yes.
He's able to get up and down the court. He hasn't looked like overwhelmed physically as far as conditioning.
He looks he looks like he can move well.
Every big center in the NBA looks out there to me.
Right. Yeah.
Discouraging. He's not as good as a rebounder as I hoped he would be.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna say I thought he would be. I just kind of assumed because of his college numbers,
and stuff. Yeah.
But he's not. He's got to get a grasp for the NBA game as far as positioning and actually getting rebounds. And the other thing I'm concerned about is his hands aren't the best at all. No. He's got to get his hands together because he's. But like I said, if you look at his numbers, like across the league, he's one of the better rookies in this year. He's putting up his numbers. He's damn near averaging a double-double.
I think he's top 3 rookie scoring this year.
Yeah, and that's going to increase. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Another thing too with Edey is that I'm kind of frustrated on the Grizzlies end is that they're not giving him minutes in the fourth quarter. I'm like, bro, you got to come back to him and see what he can give you, especially when the game really slows down in the fourth. He's been good though, man. He's good. Like I think he had 10 and 8 last night, 10 and 9, something like that. I would have loved that in the first game of the season when I would have got a payday because that was part of my parlay I had with Zach Edey was 10 points, 8 rebounds. But I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be really good as the season goes on. Long season though, man. Got 82 of them things, bro. As long as you don't have any more 6 games and 9 nights, because that really put had the front office and the coaching staff in the chokehold trying to manage it. We really mismanaged his first 6 games of the season, bro. Like we really supposed to be 6-0. And I can understand any fan that's frustrated about that. But yeah, like I said, here we are, man. We're 3-3. We made it through the 6 games and 9 nights. Y'all been talking about this shit for a month. So I'm glad we got through it, bro. We're on the other side of that. The Grizzlies come back next week. I think they got I don't know. You tell me who they play. I don't know. I hope it's not 6 games and 9 nights because that means we got to play everybody 20 minutes a game. So I hope that's not the case, man. But we're about to take a break, man. We're gonna talk about a little drama that was going on with the Grizzlies, some in the locker rooms and the quotes from players and players versus fans and all those type of things. We'll talk about those things and more when we come back for more of the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
It's going to come down to also team success.
Hey, can we stop blowing the yard?
I mean, this is so rude.
Come on, we're doing a show over here. Not even a wave or nothing. Well, I love driving through your neighborhood, by the way, Brevin, because I waved to so many people today. And I initiated the wave. I didn't even let them wave first.
You waved first.
I waved first. They're like, oh, hey, there's that nice man in that big-ass truck.
He's so friendly. Well, I don't like that he's going to blow all that stuff onto mine. That's all right. When it's time for me to clean my yard, you know what I do?
Huh. Blow it right on back?
Blow it right on back. So
there
we got a little blowing battle. Hold on.
Hey.
Whoa, hold on. Pause. Hold on. Hold on now.
Yeah, we'll just edit that out. Yeah. That's fine.
Put that on loop.
That's going to be our promo this week, probably.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
It's laughable that UAB was picked first and we were picked second. In every metric, we're like 40 spots better than them. Why? Just because they have Yaxel? We have 7 of the top 10 players in the conference. Why is it?
That's not why.
Why is it?
Penny effect. They're literally voting against Penny because they've been down this road for 7 years. They've seen this consistently. Memphis gets ranked first to win the conference, and do they ever win the conference? No. So they're just saying, like, look, at this point, the guy can't get it done. That's what it seems like to me, at least.
If we do not win the American this year, it's a travesty. I need to see a conference season length amount of success thrown together over the course of 18 games.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Shout out to all the crew of Bluff City Media, man. A lot of guys in the lab, man. We've been having conversations. Everybody, iron sharpening iron, man. I know one thing, bro. Daniel Greer got me messed up, bro. That man presentation just too damn cold, bro. Like check out my boy Daniel Greer. The Grizzlies play tomorrow night, right?
Right.
Yeah. Check out after the post game. No, they don't have a show tomorrow, right? He's not.
No, they usually don't do ones on the weekends.
Weekends,
right.
Yeah. But next game that the Grizzlies play. When there's a 9-on-1 Grizz 9-on-1 show, check it out. I'm looking at Grizz like, damn, this man got some ESPN shit going on over here.
Probably check it out on Monday, November 4th against Brooklyn.
Yeah, check it out. This is gonna be on the road, the Zaire Williams revenge game. I'm so mad, bro, that we let Zaire Williams average ass. Not even, man, Zaire Williams is not a good basketball player, bro. Did he make a single jump shot the entire game? Did he make one shot even going to the basket off the dribble?
I didn't get a chance to. Yeah,
you were getting like transition passes and like get your garbage ass, bro. You were so ass, bro. Like anyway, bro, we sit there and let that dude have a celebration moment against us losing to freaking Brooklyn, team that's going to be tanking in a couple weeks because we
just tell me he did not get a video in arena. Do you know?
I don't think he got that. No, but they shot a video of him going to the locker room looking. I'm not even gonna say how he was looking, but just get your ass out here.
Oh, the video stuff. The teams giving out playing videos for players. Alex Caruso got one for the Chicago Bulls the other day, and I'm like, what is going on? Like,
no, that would have been all over Twitter. Somebody would have posted it or took a video of it or something. No, that didn't happen.
I'm glad the Grizzlies didn't do that. That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah. But yeah, check out everybody's shows. TJ and Trey. It's time for them, man. It's time. Get ready. The rest of Bluff City Media. They about to get y'all up out of here. Tiger basketball time is here.
Yes, it is.
TJ and Trey's show is going crazy. They're doing numbers. Y'all already know it. Like I said, check out Greer. Check out me and Chris Ingram, our show, Grind Season After Hours. We just come on when we come on, man. We don't have a schedule. Just hey, we'll start dropping hints and then we'll drop a little breadcrumbs and then bam, and here it comes.
Put out the bat signal and here we go.
Yeah, we just pop up on your ass, man. Like man. You know what I'm saying? Jehovah's Witness or something. But yeah, I'm trying to think who else got some doing some major. Check out the post game bounce. Is that what it's called?
Post game bounce after every game. We got some contributors that are helping out with that.
And any basketball game, Grizzlies or Tigers, right?
It's going to be both, yes.
Yeah, post game bounce. You get a nice 3 to 10 minute video recap with different personalities in Bluff City Media. Also, of course, the Daily Grind each and every weekday, man. The 7:30. Luke Hatmaker, different revolving guests he'll have in. The guys from $2 Sports, they're on in some rotation. I saw Daniel Greer was on there today. Check out those type of things. Of course, my guys, No Bluffing Podcast every Monday at noon, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Ain't no telling what you're gonna get with them. They might go live, they might be pre-recorded.
It might be 4 hours. You never know, man.
It might be in person, it might be 4 hours, it might be in your house, they might be a Starbucks. Like, ain't no telling what to. Hey, they some innovative dudes, man. Shout out to Chris and Evan for sure. Great show.
And let's not forget, we've got a playoff game this weekend, man.
Oh yeah, quit playing, bro.
901 FC, Memphis 901 FC.
What time it is? This is Lawrence Dockery.
It's Lawrence Dockery time, baby. That man's everywhere.
I'm gonna be in the house checking out the boys in blue. Me and Gabe gonna be in that joint, man. The Kings in neon. Tomorrow, I want to say they play at 1. I'm kicking it with the Bluff City Mafia tomorrow, man. At what's it called? The Glass Door. What's it called?
Brass Door, isn't it?
Brass Door. Yeah, we'll be in that joint, man. Yeah. With the boys in blue, you know what I'm saying? Doing our thing. Me and Gabe going down, and we love going to those games. I'll be down there for sure. Of course, some other show I'm not thinking about. Oh, the OGs, man, the vets, man, the legendary Night Court. My guy Brevin Knight, Rob Fisher. Check them out. When is it? I don't know. You tell me.
Wednesdays at noon. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that show, man. Especially if you like to wake and bake with with Brevin and Rob, man. Good stuff for sure. But yeah, we're back, man. We're back to Anthony Sain show, doing something a little different, going live today. I like this, man. This feels good, man. Hopefully one day I can get my money right out here, man, so I can just do this every day instead of going to work.
I feel you.
That'd be pretty dope. Just to come in here and talk for a minute to y'all. But yeah, man, there's a little drama in the locker room the other day. Couple games this week. John Morant clapped back on Twitter. My guy, Coach Vaughn, one of my dogs on Twitter. Really smart dude, man. Really passionate fan. And I'll say this. I hope Coach Vaughn is either watching now or watching later. You know why John got on your ass, bro? Because you've been talking bad about Jaren and shit for years. You've been on the hit list. You've been a person of interest for the last few years for the stuff. Coach, that wasn't about what Coach B said the other night. That was a legacy clapback. Come on, boy, I believe. But, I came back at him. Then that opened up the conversation. Should players care? Should players even be on social media like that? Should fans watch what we say? I spoke about that. A nice clip that got some traffic online as well with me talking about that. And then later on this weekend in Summerfield, the Grizzlies lost to Brooklyn. And emotions were high in the locker room. The questions were asked by your typical cast of characters are always going to be in the locker room. DeMichael Cole is always going to be there. Drew Hill is going to be there. Terry Davis is going to be there a lot. And of course, Parrish is taking care of personal business this week. So he's kind of been, taking some much needed rest. Shout out to my boy Parrish in the chat as well. But you're typically the same people, Mike Wallace, these typical guys that are asking everything. So guys are asking questions to Jaren, and a question came out to Jaren about his playing time and the minutes. And this came from DeMichael Cole, and DeMichael asked the question, do you feel like, are you being told before the game that what a minute expectation should be? And Jaren kind of made like a sigh, like a type sound. And then he said, well, do you think it has any, like, I think the mic asked him, do you think it has any effect on anything, or how do you feel about that? And Ja was like, he said, you live with it. And he was like, well, I can't remember what the Michael's second follow-up question was, but Ja came back again. He said, live with it. He said, that's my response. You live with it. And then a question was asked by Terry Davis before that question. I'm sorry. A question was asked by Terry Davis, and Terry asked the question. Could have just played this audio, huh?
I know, right? I know. Yeah.
The question was asked by Terry Davis about since guys are missing time and not really getting a lot of time on the court together, how do you think that affects chemistry? And Ja was like, well, man, when I'm playing one game and then I'm not playing the next game, that's kind of hard to do. And then if I'm missing games, y'all are saying I'm soft. And when he said, and when Ja was saying that those quotes came online on Twitter, right? Those quotes came on Twitter, right? By Drew Hill and by DeMichael Cole. DeMichael also shared the tweets about his question and how Ja responded. But Drew Hill put out a tweet saying basically, and if you read it, if the average person read his tweets, because the average people were commenting in response to the tweet, it came off like Ja was saying, you all, like the fans or media or somebody or commenters, are putting too much pressure on me, and when I don't want to play. That's how it came off, right? That's how the energy, when you read the written words of what Ja said, it came off like Ja was saying, you guys are coming at me about not playing, all those type of things. But when you actually listen to the audio, you can tell that Ja was saying these things in frustration of not playing enough.
Right.
Some people even say, well, hell, that game that Ja missed, did he want to play? And they told him he couldn't play. These type of things, which make a lot more sense than just, I'm mad at dudes on Twitter right now, like, which was the original thing we went to bed with that night. So the next morning, I posted audio of Ja, as well as Jaren's interview, when Drew Hill also asked Jaren, like, what does he think about fan criticism of guys being called soft and all this type of thing? I'm like, all right, bro. So I posted the actual audio of both press conferences, and Twitter kind of went crazy, right? And Doc Holliday, he saw the video and he responded, all these type of things. And I'll just say this: I told myself I wasn't going to go on any crazy rant about this, but I'll say this, man. As far as Anthony Sain goes, I've always had a full-time job ever since I started doing this. Gabe's birthday. Gabe is 11 years old, and Gabe's mom was pregnant with him when I first started, quote unquote, blogging or independent journalists and all that. Like, that started when Gabe was pregnant. Gabe's mom was pregnant with him. So I say it's been about 11 years. I've always had a job the whole time I've done this, right? Like a full-time job. And I've always done this on the side when I can. Only time that wasn't the case is when I worked for Sports Illustrated, and I was full-time there, and then I was doing radio for some of that point at the same time. I thought I was doing it then, man. I was a two-check journalist, bro. I was getting money from the radio station, and I was getting money from Sports Illustrated. I thought I was doing it. But anyway, I've always had a full-time job. So because of that, I've never felt like I've had to go by the rules that the DeMichael Coles, the Drew Hills, the Jeff Calkins, the Jason and Johns, the Gary Parishes. I've never had to go by those rules because the companies that I've done these things with, not for, have never been my employers. I've always done this either on a volunteer, on a subcontracted method where I may have been getting some money, but it ain't like that's what's keeping my lights on. I have just transparency. That's the type of relationship I have with Bluff City Media. I'm not an employee of Bluff City Media. I am a subcontracted partner with Bluff City Media. I appreciate the check that I get from you guys once a month, Kenneth Stubblefield, but unfortunately, it doesn't pay my bills. Hey, maybe that can change, you know. but I said all that to say this: I move in a way, but I move in ways that the Michael Coles, the Drew Hills, all those guys can't particularly do because that's their profession. That's what they do for a living. That's their first job. I had to take a week off work just to talk to y'all at noon today, you know. So that's a stark difference between me and those guys. Shout out to what they do because they do amazing work. So, but what bothered me that night was more than anything, and this is what I said all that to say. And why I got up the next morning, because keep in mind, I was not at that game. I have not attended a Grizzlies game this entire season as a fan or media, but I had access to the actual audio from that night. Can you stop? And why was I able to obtain that audio? Because I'm the tribal chief of Grizz Twitter. These are the type of things that come with that title. You pull on the atmosphere. You pull on the gods of Grizz Twitconda, and you get the forefathers before you, man. They prepare these things, and they magically arrive in your inbox, right? But I got possession of that audio. I spoke to the person to which I received that from, and they gave me full blessing to use it as I chose. I put those clips out. But the thing that bothers me the most is that I'm a fan first. I'm a Memphian first. So I stand for this city, and I stand for my fandom of this team. And it bothered me that nobody chose to put out the actual audio or video of that night, which is crazy, right? And that really bothered me, Kenny Stubblefield, that like we went to bed that night with people shit talking the biggest star ever to put on a pair of tennis shoes and pick up a basketball in the city of Memphis. Bigger than Derrick Rose, bigger than Penny Hardaway. John Morant is the biggest deal that has ever came through this city playing basketball. That's facts. Mainly because Penny Hardaway played for the Tigers for 3 years. Derrick Rose played for the Tigers for 1, played for the Grizzlies for 1. John Morant, for all intents and purposes, could very well play his entire career here. You're talking about 12, 15-year run of having one of the best players in the NBA who wears Memphis across his chest. It bothered me to see people talking bad about him on Twitter based on a total misinterpretation, whether intentional or unintentional, of his tweet. And I'll be honest, Drew Hill reached out to me yesterday because he thought I was making it a personal attack on him. It wasn't. But only thing I told Drew was, I said, Drew, the only thing that would bother me about what you did, and I talked to some other people about what Drew did, and I said, man, it just comes off as ignorance. And I'm not saying that it's a knock. What up, my boy Chris in the chat? I'm not saying this is a knock at Drew, but it was something he was uneducated in, of how Memphis gets down, because Drew is not from here. Drew is very good at what he does, but he's not a Memphian. And I said that one of the things I didn't like about it is that you went to bed last night seeing how people were responding to your tweet, but you didn't have a follow-up tweet saying, hey, no, that's not what this was. This was not Ja saying he didn't like you guys or Ja pissed off about y'all. This was Ja's basic frustrations with things that he probably can't control as far as his minutes and things like that. And then that turned into, and I also said, and then Drew, after you finished that tweet, you went to Jaren again and led with similar questions to get Jaren stirred up to say things about the fan base as well. And the thing about this is, and I hope this either gets back to Drew, I hope he's watching. I don't have any problems with Drew Hill at all. But the thing is, what he has to understand is, if we don't have Grizzlies basketball, that takes a big chunk out of Memphis. For a lot of people in Memphis, the Grizzlies are a really big deal. My father had Alzheimer's and didn't have much of a memory at all. Didn't even know who I was half the time when I came to see him in the hospital, right? in the nursing home.
Yeah.
He could tell you what was going on with the Grizzlies. I promise you that.
It's awesome.
He had a very great understanding of what was going on with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are a big deal to this community, and things that he may not take as a big deal. I know DeMichael Cole understood. I know Terry Davis understood. I know Sharon Brown understood. I knew Doc Holliday understood. I know I understood. I know Jason Smith understands. I know John Martin understands the importance of stirring up that type of shit with the fan base and possibly sowing discord between the fan base and his star players. They understand how Jarvis Greer understands how that can be a no-no, or that's, be careful with it type stuff. Make sure you clarify what you're saying. So I did what I did the other day, not as a journalist, not as a podcaster, not as a member of Bluff City Media, which is a great team. I don't have any shame in saying I'm a part of a great team of guys. But I did what I did as a Memphian. I did what I did as a black man. I did what I did as somebody who loves the Grizzlies. I did not like how those interactions were going down, how they were being presented to the fan base. And I quite frankly have an issue that I was the person that had to put that out, that nobody else who had possession of that audio, or I don't even know the person who had possession of the audio was even supposed to record it. I don't, because it seems like the locker room procedures with the Grizzlies are weird as hell right now. Because when I cut on Twitter, the only person I see with video footage of anything is Mike Wallace, and he's an employee of Grind City Media. Shout out to Mike, that's my guy. But I don't understand why we don't see video of whatever. Why can't? And I think Paris said that some things are changing where he's able to record now. They're loosening up those rules. But it just bothered me that a guy who was watching the game in his underwear on the couch was the only one who put out actual audio of what Ja said and what Jaren. Well, I think Mike put out what Jaren said, or some of it. But that's just me, man. That's just me getting my stuff off, explaining why I did what I did. But it just bothers me, bro. It just bothers me when we leave things like we're trying to paint a picture of. When I see people trying to paint a picture of this is Ja. The frustration you're seeing from Ja is because of stuff y'all are putting on Twitter or stuff y'all are saying in the spaces. Like, no, don't do that, bro. Let's talk about what it really obviously was frustration with, like Jaren Jackson said, people that you guys don't even see have make these type of calls. You know what I mean? When we're talking about minutes restrictions or guys missing games, like, don't paint this like this is Ja pissed off at Twitter. You know what I mean? Because I know that Mark Giannotto came out and said, well, Ja just needs to stay off of Twitter. I'm not going to say he don't. Facts. But don't act like the events of this night and the frustrations boiling over or because of people questioning whether Ja is a real one or Ja can play through pain. Or don't do that, bro. And don't go to bed knowing you've got tweets out there that are having people with those type of reactions. Like I said, I like Drew. I respect Drew. I think he's really good at what he does. And I can't tell people to care about things like I care about or to put themselves out there the way that I do. Because like I said, the takes that I make, they can affect me because they did affect me that night, right? They did affect me yesterday, but they don't affect my bottom line. They don't affect my money. They don't affect, my livelihood or being able to, buy a new pair of jobs for my kid or, whatever. But like I said, I can't ask people to do things the way I do, but it did bother me that nobody was willing to stand up for what actually happened in the locker room. And if I ever get access to things that allow me to tell the truth about what's really going on, expect more of the same from me. Because that's, like I said, doing these type of things, I love doing them. They do make me money, but they're not, it's not something that kind of bends my morality or bends what I care about. And I had conversations with you, Kenny, about the whole thing because that's the type of relationship we have, because you understand my heart. You understand me as a person, and you understand why I do the things that I do. And that's something that's one reason why you'll never see me doing anything for anybody except for Bluff City Media, period, in this city. Because you, if only you, Kenny Stubblefield, I mean, I love Mark King, I love Zach Thomas, whatever. But for Kenny Stubblefield alone, he's the only person that can really get me to shut the hell up sometimes or to calm my ass down. But I know I kind of went deep, but that is the level of passion I have for that team and how they affect this city. And like I said, if guys like a Drew Hill or Mark Giannotto or Jeff Calkins, whoever come through this city, who are all great guys who have done great work, if bigger things call those guys, they will leave. They will leave this market. They will leave this city. And we've seen people before that you guys have exalted that have shitted on this city walking out the door. That y'all have raised above the locals or raised above all these people that have left this city, throwing a finger sign to all of y'all. We've seen some of it recently, and I'll leave that up for interpretation. But you always gonna have people who care about this city and care about their team more than anything, and that's just me. And that's why shout out to my girl Jessica Benson. Another person, like I said, if I had to go to war with everybody, they ain't from Memphis. She's the one that I'll throw a lifeline to that you get a truce because she played my audio yesterday and gave me props to it. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, let's just be real. Like, fuck all this stuff about trying to get attention, trying to go viral, trying to get people stirred up. Let's just stand on truth, man, because you can't stand on truth. What are you standing on? Like I said, that's all I got, Kenny, man. I got stuff to do today, man. But that's another Anthony Sain show. I don't know if you got something to say to wrap it up, my guy.
No, we're good, man. That was good. Good stuff.
Man, but real talk, though, bro. Like, I ain't got nothing personal toward none of y'all guys, bro, but I ride or die for the M, man. Like, people say, oh, Sain's a penny hater. What I got across my chest? Goddamn Penny Hardaway, bro. But like, it's just like family. Family mess up sometimes, so you got to get on their ass.
Right.
Penny, like, he ain't family to me. I don't know him. But that's a Memphis thing. But y'all ass just can't come in there saying what y'all want to say about one thing.
Hey, speaking of
everything.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth. I think it has been hilarious to see even over the last couple of days. Yesterday, I think the Field of 68 put out a podcast talking about coaches on the hot seat, and they mentioned Penny Hardaway as being one of those.
And what happened? Who jumped in?
Memphis.
John Martin, who people say is a Penny hater. John said, "Stop it. Penny ain't on the damn hot seat."
He's not on a hot seat.
Who they call a Penny hater?
Penn is in the coldest of cold seats right now. He's fine.
We can say what we say about whoever, man. Man, let somebody talk bad about Taylor Jenkins National right. Say, hold on, man. Hold on, player.
Hold on. Hey, you remember?
Hold on, little family. Hold on, little family.
This happened to you a couple of weeks ago, man. You said they had Taylor rated as like number 17 in the NBA.
Well, I say, man, stop it, bro. Y'all
You're like, not my Tay-Tay.
Not my Tay-Tay. Yeah, y'all talking about. Fuck y'all talking about. yeah, man. Hey, this was fun though, man. Doing the show live on a Friday, man, at noon. I tell you what, man, y'all. Hey, I ain't got the cash up here. Hey, Chris, put the cash up in the comments, man. Put $10,000 in there, John. I'll be back for the rest of the month, man.
Yeah.
All November, we going live. All that cost y'all $10,000, man. The fundraiser.
So funny.
Oh, and speaking of fundraisers too, man, I did not put this on the show, not intentionally. I did not advertise this on the show though, but my son had his Socktober sock drive he does for the Manor House. He does for the Manor House. His goal was to get about 500 pairs of socks. I want to say he did maybe 500-600 last year. His goal was 500. That quickly turned to 1,000. He moved the bar to make his goal. He wanted to beat his last year goal, which was around 600. Then after that, he took it up to 1,000. Gabe raised over 2,200 pairs of socks for the Manor House, man.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah. But if y'all want to see this every week, man, cash the $ grind SZN show. If you hit we can get $10,000 in that job this month, man. You will get the whole month of November. Speaking
of, Penny Hardaway talked about it yesterday in his press conference. The Tigers start off their regular season games on Monday night against Missouri. The first 3 games of the season, they're doing a toy drive with the Salvation Army. And so they want all fans to bring toys to drop them off to the FedEx Forum. And the University of Memphis will be doing a matching type situation. And all of that will go to Salvation Army. So check it out, man. Grizzlies, the Tiger.
And speaking of Grill, man, Grill got the cold graphics and all that type of stuff. And I'm going to let you know I'm going to start digging some stuff of my own for this show. But Grill got the goddamn super chat shit going too. And mother paying $5 just to come out here. No, I need it. I need it. I need it. Shout out to my boy Grill, man. But yeah, check out me and Chris. We don't know when we drop it, man. But just know we might start dropping little hints, little tea leaves for y'all ass, man. Little breadcrumbs, little bat signal, man. But it's going down grind season after hours. Me and Chris Ingram just get loose on y'all, man. We had my guy Melvin Purdy popped in as a guest on the last show, man.
Wild.
The price of Yeah, just different stuff, man. Just that when I say price, I don't mean actual money, but you know the sweat equity and all those type of things of a certain commodity has gone up in the last few years. So we discussed that with my guy Melvin Purdy, man. But it's been a good one. Man. I'm about to slide about this joint. I appreciate y'all. Another Anthony Sain show. Check out the rest of the shows here on Grind City Media. Grizzlies take on Philadelphia tonight.
Yep.
Joel Embiid, Zach Edey dodging ass. Hey, what's his name? It's gonna be a battle of my Grizzlies offseason as Zach Edey takes on the other guy I wanted this offseason, Andre Drummond, in the battle of the Anthony Sain bigs tonight. Let's go. In Philadelphia. It's going down. Or is it in Philly, right? Yeah.
It's in Philly, yeah.
Yeah. But
not, coming tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, not tonight.
See, I'm used to speaking.
You're used to speaking into the future. Yeah.
There you go. You're right. But for Kenny Stubblefield, it's your boy Anthony Sain. Shout out to my man Perry Sharkey, man, taking care of big boy business out here, man. My guy, man, one of my favorite people. And he's not a guest on the show, man. The co-host of the Anthony Sain show. Let's go. Perry Sharkey, man. Also the Grizzlies beat reporter, doing great work out there, man. But it's been good stuff for Kenny Stubblefield, for me, Anthony Sain, for more boy Perry Sharkey. It's Anthony Sain show. See y'all next week. Might be live again, man. Let us know how y'all like that joint in the comments. Go to the YouTube and comment on the YouTube, John. Don't comment here. Go to the YouTube and let me know what y'all think about going live, man. And we'll see y'all next time, y'all. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.